Hello, boys and girls. Today is Tuesday, April 28, 2020, and today we are going to do social studies. We've done landforms, and I think we understand basically what landforms are. And when we start on looking at the map, sometimes we will see a landform on the map, especially hills and rivers and streams and lakes and things like that. Our objective for map skills today is going to be, I can identify the things on a map. The question that we're going to ask is, can you identify what each thing on a map is and how it helps us? Our vocabulary will be map, globe, map key, map legend, and compass rose. And we're going to look at a short video. It's a cute story. It's called Me on the Map. This shows a little girl and how she goes from her house to her neighborhood, to her city, her state, her country, and the world, and then back again from the world, the country, the state, the city, her neighborhood, her house, and herself. Okay, let's look at Me on the Map.
On the Map by Joan Sweeney, illustrated by Annette Cable. This is me. This is me in my room. This is a map of my room. And this is me on the map of my room. This is my house. This is a map of my house. And this is my room on the map of my house. This is my street. This is a map of my street. This is my house on the map of my street. This is my town. This is a map of my town. And this is my street on the map of my town. This is my state. This is a map of my state. And this is my town on the map of my state. This is my country, the United States of America. This is a map of my country. And this is my state on the map of my country. This is my world. It is called Earth. It looks like a giant ball. If you could unroll the world and make it flat, it would look something like this map of the world. This is my country on the map of the world. So, here's how I find my special place on the map of the world. First, I look at the map of the world and find my country. Then, I look at the map of my country and find my state. Then, I look at the map of my state and find my town. Then, I look at the map of my town and find my street. And on my street, I find my house. And in my house, I find my room. And in my room, I find me. Just think. In rooms, in houses, on streets, in towns, in countries all over the world, everybody has their own special place on the map. Just like me. Just like me on the map.
Okay, boys and girls, I thought that was a cute story to start off. Okay, it went off. So when we did landforms, we talked about the globe. And we said that the globe is circular and it represents our earth. And everything that was green was the land. And all of this blue is the water. We said a globe is a circular map that shows the earth. So now we're going to look at a flat map because maps are flat. And maps can be all kinds of things. It could be a map of this little girl's place where she lives. I drew a map of a buried treasure. And X marks the spot. This dotted line shows where you have to go. So if you're in the water, in a ship, and you go onto land, you get off of the boat, and you pass some mountains. That's our landform. And here are some trees. If it were a forest, that would be our landform. And then we would go over the bridge. And here is the X. It marks the spot. These little spaces are islands, landforms. So we've learned things and we use what we've learned to learn more things. So it says a map is a picture or chart that shows where a place or thing is. We could draw a map of our classroom. We could draw a map of our house. We could draw maps about just about anything. Whenever I have to go someplace, I sometimes draw a map because it helps me to picture how I want to go, what route I'll take, and it makes it just easier for me. One thing on the map was called a compass rose, and it helps directions. We always say up is north, down is south, east and west. When we're in the city of New Orleans, we think when we go east to New Orleans east, that's east of Louisiana. When we're on the lake, we look across the lake and we always say cross the lake, and that's north in Slidell, Mandeville. When we say west, that's like we're going to Metairie, and then we have south. So if you're in the city and you want to give directions, what you need to do, and I always say this, is you face Lake Pontchartrain, and you know you will be facing north, and then you will say east and west and south. So the compass rose really is very helpful. This is a map key. And a map key just is a box on the map. It contains pictures called symbols, and they tell us what we're looking at. When we looked at the map of the buried treasure, we saw it looked like little triangles, hills. They could be hills or they could represent mountains. If we see this with smoke coming out of it, it's a factory, and I didn't make the smoke white because usually these factories burn things that are not good for us to breathe. This represents houses, of course. And remember what I said, when there are trees, it could be a forest. Now on our map, we did have trees. So we could say when you come off the boat, you go alongside the mountains, and then at some point you're between the mountains and the forests. And here is the river. Notice it's coming from the mountains. We talked about that. So we have water, railroad, river, forest, houses, factory, mountains. And then sometimes we say map legend. And the map legend, I have a tickle in my throat, tells what symbols on a map mean. These are some other symbols. School, woods. It's not just a bike, it's the bike trail. And we have a bike trail near where I live, and in the city we have a lot of different 1-minute kids. I have a tickle in my throat. In a pond. So I think if you saw this, you probably would be looking at a a map of maybe a neighborhood with the pond that probably would be near the woods, and you'd have a trail that you could ride your bike, and a school nearby. Because in neighborhoods, we have grocery stores. Remember, we talked about it. In our community, we have a school, we have a park, we have a church, we usually have a playground, we have houses. Everything that we need to live day to day are going to be in our neighborhood. And then this is a different kind of map. What state do I live in? This is the United States, and you know we live in Louisiana. Now, if you're looking at this, you would say we live down south. So opposite of south would be north, and then east and west. And so usually we would have a compass rose in some area to show east-west, but we know we live down south, and even in Louisiana, we live in the southern part of Louisiana, the eastern, southeast, because we're not in the middle, we're closer to the east. So we live in the southeastern part of Louisiana. So let's review. We had our globe, but we're not looking at our globe anymore. That's a sphere. We're going to concentrate on maps. And on the map, we have the map key, we have the map legend, and we have a compass rose. So today, our lesson is not going to be very long. We're going to write on a sheet of paper. So you should have your tablet with a piece of paper ready. And we're going to say map skills at the top. Okay, and so number one is going to be a map. And we're just going to draw a rectangle. And let's draw the picture of the United States. And if we put our little compass rose right here, it will just kind of make so that it will look like it's a compass rose. So that's map, and this is a picture of the map. Real easy. We also talked about the globe. And we said the globe is a sphere, so we're going to just draw our circle. Have a little stick to come out. Okay, and remember, this was North America, South America, Europe and Asia, Africa, and Australia. And we'll have our okay, number 3, map key. And we're going to draw a rectangle shaped box. And we're just going to do 2 because we don't have a lot of room to draw a lot. So let's draw a house. And we're going to say the word house, because we're going to pretend that this is part of our community. And so something else that we could draw is a pond. Well, let's not even do pond. Let's do park. P-A-R-K. A-R-K. And we can draw some swings. And we can draw a slide. And let's put a little tree. And that would be our map key. So when we see these pictures on our map, we're going to know that it's a park. And if we see this, we're going to know that it's a house. And number 4, our compass rose. Compass rows. Okay, and again, we're gonna draw a circle, and let's just make some and we can say south, north, east, and west. These are the main things that we want to learn when we're looking at a map to be able to understand it. Okay, let's do state, just because we talked about our state. And our state sort of looks like a shoe. That's that little part that comes out because that's Louisiana. It almost looks like a shoe. Okay, so let's review. We're learning today, we learned what is on a map. We've learned that a map is flat and the globe is round, and it's a sphere because it has sides. On the map, we have a map key, and the map key helps us to know what the symbols mean. We have a compass rose because the compass rose gives us directions: south, north, east, west. And just for fun, we drew our state because we looked at a map of the United States. Also, something that we didn't, and we're going to put this down, I didn't do, is map scale. And the map scale is really not something that we're going to use. But it's like a ruler, and it has little marks. And so this is showing when you look from one place to another, and it's this distance, and it looks like it's only 1 inch, it's actually going to represent 100 miles. So if you're measuring the distance from here to here, and then again from here to here, on the piece of paper, it's going to look real short, but it's going to be 100 miles, 100 miles. And so going to math, we know it's 200 miles, and that's the scale. It's to give you an idea of distance. So next time we meet, next Tuesday, we'll do a little bit more with our map skills. Boys and girls, try to draw this on your paper. Take a picture of it. Send it to me. I got something from Destin today. Good, Destin. He sent a picture of his math activity. Very good. This is letting me know that you're looking at the videos. This is not very hard to do. We could look at this on our phone. Draw your pictures, write your vocabulary, draw a picture to explain what each vocabulary word means, and then just take a picture of it and send it to me, and we will get a grade for participation. Easy peasy. Come on, boys and girls. Let's get back into the swing of working. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be reading and math. Bye.